Hello. Today I want to talk to you guys about how I plan out my life, both digitally and physically, because I use both Notion, my bullet journal, and a little bit of iCal. So hopefully this video kind of shows you my productivity planning process and give you some tips on how you can organize your life a little better as well. Let me pull up. This is what? Screen recording. Listen, y'all, I have a party to go to in about 30 minutes. I don't have time for any of this stuff. Clip and record. Okay. Recording. Here we are at my dashboard. So I really don't use my dashboard that much, but I just wanted to make it aesthetically pleasing. One big thing for me is that my Notion had to be cute, because if it's not cute, I'm not going to use it. And this is basically just where I have all the links for the other pages in my Notion. So you see over here on the left, I have navigation. I have Mingo content, Nat content, which is a business that I do the marketing for. So I like to plan out their content on a separate page, of course, but I'm not going to show you that because it's confidential and you guys don't get to see it. Sorry about it. Academic projects, and then journal. I mean, you guys know how the menu works. You click on it, you go to the page. I wanted to keep some really aesthetic cute little pictures on here because it kind of looks like a mood board, honestly. And like I mentioned, I just love making things pretty. I totally skipped over this part right here. So this is the to-do section. I love having a digital to-do list because whenever I have a to-do list in my bullet journal, it will be like in a weekly spread, for example, but then every time I make a new weekly spread, I'll have to move that same to-do list over, and it just gets to be a hassle every now and then. So if I have a digital to-do list right here, not only is it so much easier to add tasks and take off tasks whenever I need to, and I can just order it in terms of importance and move things around so I know what things I have to check off first. Hopefully in the next couple weeks this will be done, but then again it will be filled with new tasks, so I guess what's the point? Down here is where I'll have my 2022 goals. As you can see, there is nothing there. That's because all of my goals right now are in my bullet journal. I never actually had the time to move them over here. I definitely have goals, they're just not on my Notion. Probably should have thought about this before I filmed the video, but I mean, it still works. And by the way, people have been asking me to share my Notion as a template for you guys, so I will talk about that a little more at the end of the video. However, right here is where you guys can put your goals if you use my template. And then this little thing at the bottom is actually not from Notion. I will try to find the name of the website that you can put little widgets on your Notion from. I'll put it right here on the screen. But I found this one just like, you know, shows a progress of 58% through the year. That's the same thing where this clock came from. It's just a little widget because it's cute and I want to add more aesthetic things. Okay, so now let's scroll down to Mingo content. And this is where I have all of my content planning. So over here I have all my different pages that are linked, but I'll talk about those in a second. And then you scroll down and I have links to my YouTube, Instagram, and Etsy shop, which are my three main platforms for my business. Right here is that huge content calendar table thing. This is where I like to plan out all of my content. Now, at one point I had all of my Instagram content on one page and my YouTube content on another page, but that made it really hard to see everything as a whole. So now I actually put it on one page and I have a little column right here where I can change the platform. And if I only want to see, for example, YouTube videos that are coming up in the future, I'll go up here to platform, press YouTube video, and then I only have to see my YouTube one. So you can kind of go both ways, full picture or just the singular ones depending on what platform you're using. And I also, as you can see here, like to differentiate between my bullet journaling Instagram and then my main Instagram, the Mingo Studio, where I will even split that up further and do Instagram posting versus Instagram Reels. I had 2 Reels pull up this week and I'm just so excited about it. So I'm gonna be posting a lot more Reels on my new account. You should go follow me. Oh my gosh, that'd be so nice of you. Right here I have the posting date because obviously it's most important, and so they're organized in order of what day is going to be posted, etc. And then over here I have the status, whether it's not started yet, ready to post, or just in progress. Then if I have a filming day, especially for YouTube videos, and then if I have a sponsor, that'll be over there. I also want to talk about there is a calendar version of this, and right now the filter is on for only Instagram, but if I take that off, you can see a couple more things pop up. So I just like having the versatility that a digital planning can give me that I can't actually do in my bullet journal. Then let's talk about these links on the left that I said I would come back to. So right here, the first one is content ideas. I think it's always important to have a little brain dump so you can put your ideas. So this one is healthy life, organization, business, academics. And those are kind of like the 4 kind of main topics I want to talk about in my new channel as we're growing and talking more about productivity and organization rather than bullet journaling specifically. New brand, I won't click on that, but that's basically all the different things that I had to do as I was evolving into my new brand, which is still kind of in the middle of. If you didn't see my video about entering a new era in my business, I will link it down in the description box below. Affiliate programs over here. This is basically a very simple chart, but I just want to keep track of all my affiliates. So I'll have the category, and the category can be bujo, beauty, tech, books. Those are all the ones I've kind of had so far. I might add a new category if I have something different to kind of promote to you guys, but I always only want to promote things that I actually believe in. So don't worry, if I'm actually promoting something to you guys, it's something that I personally love and want to share with you. Just want to like put that out there. So the next is name of the company, obviously, and my personal link that will direct you to my site and give me a little bit of kickback, a little bit of commission back. So these are the links I usually share with you. And then the commission, the payout, and any notes that I need. Down here are growth tips, which I have a lot of YouTube ones. As you can see, I have video ideas down here. I've kind of consolidated that. It was a much longer list before, but I shortened it to make it easier for my brain. And then I also have Instagram tips. And honestly, if you screenshot this video, you're getting a lot of tips for free. So, I mean, don't say I'm not helping y'all, because these are a lot of good, solid tips, okay? And then the last thing I want to talk about is this is the old videos section. I usually script out all of my videos. So I do want to talk about this real quick. Let's go back to the last video I posted, which was reading books that you hate for school. Actually, I worked so hard on this video, so if you haven't gone and see it, go check it out in the link down below. But I have a whole lot of information when I open this up. So I have created, tags, platform, post, status, film, sponsor. Then the next thing I put up is my thumbnail when finished, and then I scroll down to the scripting process. As I have my key concept, my title, my thumbnail, and my tags. And these are the stuff that I do before I start filming, actually, to make sure that I have a consistent goal as I'm, shooting it. This was the sponsorship, so I had all my information right there. And then I have all of my scripting, and this is like basically all of the main bullet points that I wanted to talk about. But as you can see, it's a full, very laid out situation. Like, it's a plan and I stick to it. And so because I have so much information all like stashed in there, I don't want to just delete it, especially since when I do launch my website eventually, I do want to start a newsletter, and I might have some tips in here that I can put in that newsletter, you know what I mean? Now let's go down to the academics page. Like I said, as the day that I'm filming this, it is July 30th. School starts on August 10th, which is abnormally early, may I add. Who came up with that? Who came up with that? Anyways, but this is my academics page. I don't use it right now because school hasn't started yet, but I'm going to use it when school does start. And then you come down here to upcoming assignments and events. So this is the assignment, the due date, whether I've done it or not. I mean, it's a very simple little 1, 2, 3, check off the box if you finished it. Not much to it, but it is gonna help me when school starts kind of keep order of my assignments. I will say in general, I'm pretty good at finishing my work. Like, not to brag, but one thing I usually do is just like the minute I get it, put it in my bullet journal. And I usually just get things done really early so I don't have to worry about them later. But there are, some long-term projects that I want to keep track of, so I'll just put them in this table right here. On the right here, I actually couldn't find a calendar that would fit small enough. They're like, of course, huge calendars you can put dates in, but I just wanted a visual calendar. So I just screenshotted my iCal and put it right here on the page. But I mean, it does the job for August. And then down here, I just have a cute little quote and some aesthetic strawberry pictures. And then links down here to all of my, schoolings, all the boring stuff, basically. And I will mention too that this view at the top does have a calendar view. So if you wanted to switch over there. So I'll have all sorts of events that I can put in here, and then my calendar will fill up a lot more once school actually starts and we get back into the swing of things. Over here is where I like to keep a main project section for any big things that I'm working on in the future. So my 4 main projects that I'm working on right now is filming my portfolio for college applications, my website that I'm obviously working on, like I mentioned earlier, product ideas, maybe for the future that I'm planning out, and scholarships. And I'm only going to show you one, which is my filming my portfolio. So let's look in there real quick. She is not pretty, I'll give you that. She's not cute, but she gets the job done. Over here I have a general overview of what I want my portfolio to feel like. And then over here on the right are the editing ideas I really decided to go with. And then at the bottom, I was planning out the different things I had to film in order to get my portfolio to be out on time. Like I mentioned, she's not cute, but she gets the job done. And basically the same thing as for the other one, charts and bullet points, and they just hold all my information, and it's easier than putting it in my bullet journal because I just have one place that I can keep it with digitally 24/7. And the last page, this is probably the most simple and boring page, is my journaling page. I don't actually use it that much, but I am trying to get into journaling more. Not necessarily like mental health journaling, like what is my gratitude, what am I thankful for? I mean, those are obviously very important, but this journal is more just like, I'm just wanting to sit down and write for a little bit. I just wanted to brain dump on digital paper, just like see what my brain comes up with, in case in the future I am maybe thinking about writing a memoir. If that does happen, I have entries in here back from 2020, 2021. They're literally 2 entries, but they're there. That is my Notion. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour. But before we finish, I do want to talk about balancing Notion, my bullet journal, and iCalendar, because like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I do use all 3 pretty much all the time. Notion, I really rarely edit. This is almost like a semi-permanent just database, stash of information. Other than the content planning, which I obviously will edit as I add more ideas at the end of the month, but everything other than that basically stays the same. However, my bullet journal, I do do change frequently because, like I mentioned, every week I make a new bullet journaling weekly spread. Now this is definitely good for me because I love having the creative output to like make a new theme, make a new spread, be able to draw every week as I make a personal physical planner for myself. But every time I do make a new weekly, everything that I didn't finish last week, I have to move to the next week and I have to edit the to-do lists and stuff like that. So it's definitely not as permanent as something as Notion is. So what my usual planning process is every week, I will make a weekly spread and then I will flip to the calendar at the beginning of that bullet journaling month. And I will take all the events that are happening that week and move them into the days. So then once those are in my weekly spread, I will go to my phone, pull up iCalendar and put any dates in there that I'm also missing. And I will say that those dates are usually just birthdays, occasionally appointments, and color guard days because my color guard calendar from the app that we have is synced to my iCal calendars. And then lastly, I will go into Notion. Especially for like content ideas, I will go to the content page and just put any things that I have to post on whatever days, Instagram, YouTube, whether I'm filming a video that week and when. And I also can look at the to-do list on my dashboard, be like, what kind of things can I reasonably get done this week? And when school starts, I will definitely add the academics to this kind of process because I will go on the academics page, be like, what things are due this week? And I absolutely have to get them done. So then everything from Notion, from iCal is put into my bullet journal, and I have a physical journal that I reference every day. And that makes it so much easier than having to go to 3 different places to see like what's going on, because although Notion is full of so much information, so much easier for me at least to use a physical, tangible book. So like I mentioned earlier in this video, I have received a lot of questions about people wanting my Notion templates, and I've never actually thought about selling these before. And I will say what works best for me is definitely not what works best for you, but if you like what I have here, you like the base, you think you could really benefit from these templates and use this in your own Notion, just kind of take the stress off of having to build your own pages and use something that someone else has already created, I do have my Notion templates available for you guys. So I've taken my dashboard, my Mingo content or just content planning page, and my academics page, and they are all going to be individually downloadable. So they are of course editable, so you can add your own information, your own different elements to it. If you do like what I have here and would like to support me in another way, I'd really appreciate if you can go check out those templates on my Etsy shop, again, linked down below. I want to make an entire video soon in the future about my entire productivity process, how I go about my week, how I go about my month, and make sure that I'm always on task and organized. Well, not always, but most times. If you guys want to see a full video about my productivity setup, my productivity plan, whatever you want to call it, then definitely comment it down below and I would love to share that with you guys. Like I mentioned, school has not started yet, but when it does, I will definitely have a different type of productivity system as I shift more into academics and leave more time for schools. In the meantime though, over the summer I have been doing my summer reading project, which is stupid, but I did finish it and I vlogged the entire process. I have personally suffered through it and came out on the other side. So if you want to hear some of my tips that I have for reading books that you absolutely despise but have to read, especially if you're in school, I'll have the video linked right over here on the screen so you can go check it out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe before leaving if you want to see more productivity videos from moi. Again, the Notion templates are in the description box below, and I will see you next week for a new video. Toodles!